Um, okay. It's showtime. All right, y'all. I came downstairs in just the nick of time, honey. It's showtime. I'm very excited about this show. But let's give the people time to get up in here. Okay, they probably didn't expect your girl to actually start on time. So let's play a little intro music. Let's get it popping. Let's see. I think you guys will enjoy, you ladies and gentlemen will enjoy this show. What I got back here, y'all? What I got back here? Let's see what I have back here that I can play for a few seconds to get the show popping. Let's see what we got. Background music here. Y'all, my laptop is broken, so I wanted to show y'all the outfit of the day, honey. This is actually the outfit that I wore to church. It's cute, but it's very feminine, it's very lightweight, but it's cute. I might go ahead and do a short wearing it so you guys can see it from head to toe. It's lace on the top. You've got these little arms. I find lace patterns. Flowers I find very feminine. But it's like a baby doll. The ladies know I'm talking about, a baby doll. I'm gonna try and show y'all without having the laptop fall. You guys see? I'm so excited to be up here with you guys. So excited to catch up. It's been a long time. It's been a very long time. Hey y'all, hey Kirby, Theo, and you know, my mods that have been here with me forever. Honey, the devil is good. The devil been trying to work on my hockey boots, but no, honey. What I always tell y'all, touch not his anointed, honey. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna start in a few more seconds. We're at the 3-minute mark, so we got plenty of time to start. I'm gonna go grab me some ice water. Y'all go ahead, go grab y'all something, and we're gonna get started. Welcome. I know I don't need to tell y'all, but for anybody that's new, make sure y'all hit the like, oh, honey. Yes. Y'all are my motivation. Jane, welcome. Welcome everyone. Oh, speaking of that, I have my ballon back, y'all. I have my ballon back. I ordered another one. All right, I'm gonna stop the music, you guys, for a second. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Sunday. I'm gonna keep it positive. Today, yeah, actually, this one is this. I had actually forgot I had this, but this is one of my practice balance. And I have to tell you guys, I want to keep this. This is my heart. This is my heart and soul. So I want to keep this a little bit separate from this channel. But I am working on some stuff with this too. But let me put this away. Oh my goodness, long time no see, you guys. And no, I would not wear the kitten ears to church. I was just in the mood. Y'all know I like to cosplay sometimes. So I'm working on some other videos. Whenever I go live, trust and believe you guys are going to see some other videos pop up too, whether it's on Shorts or TikTok or someplace else. Because I try to just upload things all at once because I don't do it very often. Okay, so as it says in the title. So first of all, let me give a shout out to another YouTuber. I saw he did a show about a week ago reviewing the Oprah Winfrey, Scott Galloway show that they did together. Scott Galloway was on Oprah Winfrey show, and she had a show just strictly dedicated to men and letting men voice, particularly young men, letting them voice their true feelings. And it turns out I had heard people say this online, but I didn't think that it was, oh God, I can't say I didn't think it was real. I just didn't realize it was this much of an issue for younger people. I know that older people were having issues, dealing with the opposite sex, communication, but I never knew that young men, young men in high school and college, and even after college, were having issues communicating with the opposite sex. Basically, they did a show, and a lot of young men said that they felt lonely because they did not have any connection with not just people, but females. And I enjoyed the show. Super Sly was the one who did the show about a week ago, and you guys should check that out. After this live stream is over, I will try and I'm going to drop the link to the original show, which is on OWN, Oprah's network. And I'm also going to drop Super Sly's review of the show. And I thought that he did a great job giving his point of view, a male point of view. As a matter of fact, I don't know, I might send this to him so he could tell me what he thinks the job I did. I'm gonna do it from a female point of view, the only way I know how. So okay, let's get this party started, honey. Hey Clue, good to see y'all. I am going to drop the link. I just wanted to at least give y'all a backdrop of what we're going to be talking about. But basically, Scott, and for those of y'all who don't know who Scott Galloway is, he is a podcaster, but he's not just a podcaster. He's an actual PhD. So he is trained and family dynamics. He's trained in this. Y'all know how I feel about people being on podcasts, giving information, and they really don't have the qualifications. I don't like that. I'm not a big fan of that. And so you won't really see me review too many podcasters' opinions over here. Am I saying that just because he's a PhD and he has training, am I saying that his word is law? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I've talked to y'all about, I won't say quack doctors, but I've talked to y'all about doctors that have lost their licenses for giving people horrible advice. But I will tell you this, because of that reprimand that they face for giving bad advice, unethical advice, immoral advice, they have a license at stake. They have a livelihood at stake. So it's less likely that they're going to get up on a platform for views and subscribers and lie to y'all. You see what I'm saying? And they have the knowledge to where they have done research on said topic. You see what I'm saying? Before they're going to get up here and just spew a bunch of nonsense to y'all. So that's why I'm very choosy about the people I listen to. He's not the only one. There's a dude that I listen to. He talks a lot about sexless marriage. If you guys have been following me a while, I've talked a lot about sexless marriage. That is a very real thing that I just don't think gets enough eyes and ears. Why does that happen so much, especially in long-term relationship? Why is that happening? Well, there's all types of reasons why it happens. And I can't remember the dude. He's also a PhD. So maybe this is something we'll start. There's a lot of things that I try to start and I don't finish. A little update with the channel. My computer it's on its last leg, y'all. Literally the screen, I don't have a filter on. The screen is just literally that blurry. I don't know if it fell. I don't know what happened, but I mean, my computer, I need to show y'all with my phone. It's horrible. So I'm waiting I did not forget about the Jeffrey Epstein. Everything turned out looking really bad, really choppy, and fuzzy looking. And I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I like to give y'all good content. So I would rather, have my computer guy come over here. It might take a couple weeks though. And then that's the thing. By the time I get my computer straight, the content might be old, which there's a lot of content that I wanted to put out that is probably old now. So I can go live. My camera's just gritty. So I'm sorry. But I try to go live to keep up with you guys, to make sure that I'm in the loop with you guys. Okay. I had a bit of a meltdown. Thank you so much. Thank you, Leo. I love y'all. All of you. Finn, Leo, all of y'all. Every last one of y'all. A lot of y'all have been with me some years. V-Dub, I've known V-Dub for, oh God, how many years has it been, V-Dub? 6, 7 years. Yeah, a long time. So, Clue, I met you on Little Big Nate. So it's been, at least 3 years. Time flies. Last night, I was very upset. That's not the first time I've come on live stream upset. But, it gets to a point where you have to have enough is enough. Enough is enough. And I am at the point of enough is enough. You guys will find sometimes when I'm doing live streams, they are for y'all, my audience, the people who I believe care about me. They are not for my enemies. However, I do have enemies on this platform. Some people who have never met me, never spoke to me behind the scenes, but they hate my guts. Well, that's between them and their God. But I also have people who, for personal reasons, thanks to, I said I wasn't going to do this. Hold on, y'all. Let me think. Because I do want us to talk about this. This is a very good topic. Men's loneliness is a very good topic. Because we hear a lot about women's loneliness. A woman might be a widow, her husband dies, and she's lonely, and she wants to remarry. But we don't hear men talk about their loneliness and how they feel not having a woman around. Okay. And a woman is a lot of things. So a woman is not just a warm body, that we bring so much, just like y'all bring so much, and we need each other at the end of the day. And I think that was the outcome of the show that Oprah did with Scott Galloway. That was the outcome. So it was a very positive show. We're going to get into it. I'm just trying to get a few things out the way. Whether some of these people that follow me were brought here by my significant others or whatever the case may be, maybe I brought them here. Maybe they followed me from an old Facebook post, whatever the case may be. The show must go on, and it's going to go on. I'm asking them to just go about their way. And anybody that does not rock with mahogany roots, anybody. This is a revolving door, honey. This door revolves. It goes in and out, around and round. You are not trapped here with Miss Mahogany Roots, honey. You are free to go and come. That's the thing. That's what a lot of people like about me. Hey, Almond Eyes, and I'm going to see you. Hey, Sarcastic One. I am not the type of YouTuber, and my people know. Leo knows me a long time. I let y'all do what y'all want to do. I have let people smile in my face on this platform and go outright to my enemies and go to their page, and I don't give a damn. I don't care. I do not care, because all I care about is when y'all are in front of me. Half the time, y'all don't even know. YouTubers keep so much foolishness going. How am I to expect y'all to know who is beefing today or tomorrow? Because some of these people literally keep something going. Or some of the beefs, to be honest, have lasted many years. And so I never expect y'all to know what's going on all the time. I do not. But I do expect when y'all are over here with me is to be honest with me, mean me well, just like I mean you well, for us to be, to be here. I expect for us to be here. I don't care about what goes on other YouTubers' platforms. I really do not. I do like it when y'all come and tell me that motherfuckers talking about me, though. I do appreciate that. I do. Because otherwise I wouldn't know. And I appreciate that. That way I can decide whether I'm going to deal with it, mention them or not. Some people just want to be mentioned. You got to keep that in mind too. Some people just want to be mentioned. So now that I've got that out the way, last night was not a great night for me. That's why I deleted the video. But prayerfully going forward, there will be no more of those nights. I do have a show coming up soon with another YouTuber, with Super Sly. Hey, May, it's good to see you. And y'all, I will highlight your comments in a second. I'm not going to rush this show. We gonna make love, y'all. We about to make love on a Sunday morning, honey. That's why I say get your cup of coffee, get your orange juice, chill and relax. Mahogany is very much on that chill and relax vibe. I've always liked that. So get your orange juice, honey, whatever you like to drink in the morning. I hope it's something healthy. Get you some grapefruit, honey, a little sip of tea, and chill and relax with Mahogany Roots. We're not going to rush this. As a matter of fact, we're not going to rush it so much that I might do part 2 to this show, because the show itself, the Scott Galloway Oprah show, was an hour long, and I'm going to break it down and we're going to go through the entire show. So I might have to do a part 2. And then when I open up the panel, that's going to, cause the show to be even longer. So we might do part 2 to this show. So don't worry about it. We're going to make love to this topic. Very important topic. Men opening up about their feelings about women, and they're concerned. And that makes me feel good. That makes me feel like there's hope for the future. That men still want companionship, that they still want a wife, that they still want a family, and women do too. So there's hope. We have hope for the future, and that makes me very happy, because I have a son and I want grandbabies, child. I want some grandbabies. So yes. Anyway, before I get to your comments, let me go ahead. I'm about to read your comments right now. Thank you, boo. Y'all know it's about time for our 3rd or 4th annual Mod Appreciation Show. But guess what? Mahogany Roots ain't been coming live. So how I'm going to do a Mod Appreciation Show if I ain't been coming live, so y'all can do y'all job, honey? So I will try and come live. It's been a lot going on with me. Y'all know I put on some weight. I put on some weight. I'm coming down slow. So I'm working that out. Yes. But I think I went through everything, y'all. So let me find the show, and then I'll come right back to your comments. Give me 1 second. Okay. Go ahead and mute up real quick. I don't want y'all. Well, I guess it's okay if you guys hear me clicking and clacking. I love Sundays. I love Sundays. I love Saturdays too, but it's something about Sundays. Even when I was growing up, it was just always a very peaceful, calm environment. My mom made sure of that. It was a family day, whether we were cleaning or listening to music or watching movies or going out for dinner. It was a family day. So, like I said, OWN Network, Scott Galloway. Yes, honey, we finna get it popping. Here we are, Oprah No, I want the whole, we want the whole 50 minutes. Hold on, let me find it. We want the whole 50 minutes, not these clips. I hope they didn't take it down, y'all, because that was such a good show. Hold on, I'm looking. They got a bunch of short clips. No, I want the whole damn show. Scott Galloway, Oprah. Oh goodness. Let me try this. Oprah interview. Okay, I think this is it. Our young men in crisis. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull this. Nope. Okay, this is the one. Hold on, y'all. Let me mute up. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna mute up for a second. All right, family, I got it. I got it in queue. Okay, so let me read your comments. We making love, honey. We making love today. Nice and slow, no rushing. So I'm actually going to take my time and read through you guys' comments. I'll start from the bottom up, okay? Oh, thank you, Irby. Yes, please hit the like button. And keep it up, Irby. You're doing the right thing. Keep on going live. It takes a while, you know. I've been doing this for many years, and I spent a long time. But I like it. I actually like it when there's just a few people there. I feel more comfortable talking to you guys. Okay. So anyway, let's go to Miss May. She says, I am in my 40s, Clue. I'm old when I qualify for a senior. Oh, yes, honey, we're going to make love. Because usually I rush and I'm like, hey, Eric Vaughn, I need to give you a wrench. Give me a sec. I'm trying to get rid of wrenches, y'all, though. I am. I've got too many. But some of you all are content creators. So y'all talking about last night, Mahogany Roots little meltdown last night, honey. Yes, honey. But I'm gonna give you the real me. I ain't got time for the bullshit. You're gonna get the real 100% Mahogany Roots. And Mahogany Roots is not, I'm not one of those people that gonna sit up here and lie to y'all and act like shit sweet and act like everything okay. And no, everything is not okay all the time. It's not okay. It's not okay. A Negro is out here hurting the hell out of me, dragging me by my kneecaps, whether he realizes it or not. And, you know, even though I do have friends and stuff, you know, sometimes this platform is very good. It's just a good outlet versus, you know, calling up my girlfriend. That's, and, you know, it's not always good to do that too, you know, and then say you get back with the person and, you know, you put your friends in the middle of something, you know, so, you know, this way I can get out here, talk my little talk, delete it and move on with my life. But I meant what I said. I'm not going to keep on going through this. Not much. SB has been talking about her experience in South Africa. She moved to South Africa. SB. Who is SB? And Clue be nice. If she's old, then I'm old. Okay. Because we're the same age. Security boss. Is that? Oh, security boss. Okay. Mm-hmm. She says that. Oh, well, thank you, boo. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me see what Almanac says. So I have the summer backslide ain't no joke. Okay. Clue, let's see. Clue, you need Black woman energy in your life. He wants it, man. He really does. Bless his heart. Did you get rest last night, Clue? You said you had just flown in, honey. You had just flown in? Mm-hmm. She needs to get married. Okay, y'all. Marriage is still an option. Yes, it is. All right, so I think I've pretty much caught up. Everybody's saying hello to each other. I like a lot of types of women, man. Yeah, most men do. Most men wants to try. You know who did that joke years ago? Oh, let me say hello to the sarcastic one. I didn't mean to ignore you. Yes, it is. So welcome here, sarcastic one. I guess I'm about to drop the thing, and you slept like a baby. Oh, you slept like a baby even though your girl was in distress. I was in distress last night, okay? You should have been up worried sick about me. Um, I will say this, May. Shout out to Officer Charles Faulkner Jr. I visited his show last night, and I was very upset, and he was kind to me, and he didn't have to be, and he gave me some very good words of wisdom. So I appreciate that. You know, I've been kind to some men in the space, but at the same time, I've dragged others. But I will say this, and I told him this, and I mean it. Out of all the little scuffles I've been to, it's been usually the men that have been the men of the manosphere. I hate to say it. Even though I might disagree with some of their talking points and I disagree with certain things they say and do, it's been some of them that have been most gracious with me. It wasn't, yeah, you got a few F boys on here, but they are not manosphere. They're not manosphere. The men that I've gotten into, they're not manosphere. And I use the term men lightly. They're like manosphere wannabes. They're Kevin Samuel wannabe fans, but honey, they never could make the cut, honey. Okay. So I do want to say his words were kind and it was nice. He didn't have to be so kind to me, and he was. So I just want to say thank you. And even though I've spent years defending a lot of women, particularly Black women in the space, some of my largest stab wounds have been by Black women in this space. It's been by other Black women. And that's why I have always said to y'all that Black women some of us need to really work on our self-esteem. There's a syndrome in this space with some of the Black women, not all. And please, if the shoe don't fit, don't wear it. But there is a competition where there's no competition. There's a low self-esteem thing going on here. There's I gotta be the queen bee, and only my opinion matters and yours doesn't. There's a age thing going on where sometimes the older women are seemingly kind of, I'm gonna be honest, sometimes seeming jealous of the younger women instead of letting the younger women have it. It's not always that way. And but it's insane. I've never had these issues dealing with women in my real life. Y'all know I have sisters and aunties. I just got off the phone. I need to send her the link. She wanted to watch the show. I just got off the phone with one of my female cousins. We're like this. Me and my sisters are like this. So I always tell y'all that these dynamics online are not my real life dynamics. I get along with men. Men approach me. They're not, according to these people online, men are not supposed to be approaching me. I'm old. According to these men online, nobody wants a Black woman. I get approached by all different races of men. According to these people online, I'm washed up. So how come, if what they're saying is true, how come my life experience is telling me something completely different? So that's what I'm saying. You cannot. You need to be careful who you're listening to, and you need to, for me, they have to have some credentials. They got to have some kind of schooling or something, because anybody and everybody gets up here and talk about whatever topic they want to and call themselves whatever they want to, and come to find out they don't have no information on said topic. None. I'm gonna read just a little bit more, then I'm gonna go ahead and drop the video, and then I'll share the link, let you guys see the video. Hey, Sec Passe, it's good to see you. But I want to read. I'm going to drop down. Okay, so I've received comments. Let me just read. I've received comments, the type of comments on social media than I've received online. Yeah, it's a completely different world. People try to say it's the same. It's not. Almanai says, I always find it weird when people are shocked that my sister and I have a good relationship. Yeah, you're supposed to. Thank you, sweet pea. And I might be coming in. I always say this every time I see her because she lives in North Carolina. I was supposed to come in North Carolina for the holidays, but that was set back due to my health and all that. But I will be coming up there soon, so I'll let you know. And I'll be reading your posts. I'll be looking for you, so I know how to reach you. And I think I'm pretty much sure I still have your email. But yeah, like you're supposed to be close to your sister. You're supposed to be close. When you think about in nature, animals, the wolf pack, right? Even in the lion's den, the female lions, they're raising their kids together. You know, they're getting along. Only in the world of onlineness do women attack each other. That's not, you know. And let me tell y'all, it'd be about stupid shit. It'd be because I disagree with you and you disagree with me. You know, it's like we don't even show each other enough respect to say, okay, this is a grown woman. She's entitled to her own opinion. I'll still support her, even though we have differences of opinion. We're not even mature enough to do that. That's sad. And the men see this. I'm gonna be honest, the men be looking, they be seeing it, they be like, they be enjoying it, honey. They be having their little popcorn, like, these bitches. These bitches can't get along for shit. Don't give them that. Don't give them that. People who just want to see discord. Don't give them that. Okay. So I'm going to leave that alone. Otherwise, I can go on and on and on about that. Let me scroll down. Thank you, boo. Thank you. I get along with all three of my siblings. Exactly. We're family and we're all we have. We're all we have. You know, my pastor a few months ago, I talked about it on the show. He did a wonderful sermon. But it was basically about the hypocrisy of well, he's talking about Christians, but I'm talking about everybody, because you have Hebrew Israelites that are hypocrites too. But they're always talking about the kingdom of heaven, but they're not even doing what they need to do right here on earth to get into the kingdom of heaven. They're not even speaking to their brother or their sister that they could make right with right now, but they're worried about the kingdom of heaven. No, you need to work on what you got going on right here or right now. You need to work that out. Females who be says, while they're offline, a lot of women are extremely weird with that. Yeah, it's weird. And y'all, I'm gonna be honest. That's why. Well, let me just say this. In the past, like I said, I was on everybody's panel, and now I'm a lot more selective. But I do plan on making my way. I just haven't had the time, so forgive me. I do plan on making my way to the new people panel. I was trying to get over to there was a lot of people I was trying to get over to, but my health just I was not healthy or feeling good enough to do it. Once I started working more hours and taking a night class, it just made it very difficult. Okay. So yeah, I mean, life, is lifing, but there's still a lot of people I plan on visiting, and I'm gonna, but it took me getting burnt a couple times by some people in the space. It took that for me to understand that I'm better off on my own. I'm gonna be honest, and only go where I'm wanted. Don't let somebody basically have to tell you that you're not wanted over there. Do you know what I mean? Don't let them have to attack you enough, because I would be on a platform and I would be getting attacked on the platform, and I'm like, why is this broad attacking me on this platform? You know what I'm saying? So after a few times of me sitting up on their platform and getting attacked, not by random people, but by the person, I'm just like, okay, I'm a stay over on my side, because I don't need that. I don't need that at all. Or you leave and you're watching from the clouds and They're shading you and all types of shit, man. Anybody got time for that bullshit? That's one thing I have never done. Everybody know who I don't like because I done did a video on them. If I did a video on you, then I probably like you. But if I have done a video on you and I've said some things about you, then I don't like your ass. So it ain't no damn secret. But I don't shade people like, oh, no, I don't do stuff like that. I'm too old, too grown for that. People think it's just online, but it hits differently when you see each other all the time. That's true too. And especially if you've made, like, some of us have made friends on this thing, whether we've met or not, but some of us have met. Like, look at Clue, an old girl. He's met her. So now he's got, I guess, more of a personal bond with her. Maybe that's why he feels the need, to defend her the way he does, because he's developed some kind of personal bond. And I do understand that, because I've met with people on here and developed friendships and bonds. So I do understand. I'm not picking on them. All right, let's get to the point. Let's get to it, y'all. Y'all ready? Let's get to it. All right. Yes, and me too. No, I understand that too, Miss May. I do, and at first it was fun. I'll tell you, for me, Miss May, it was fun. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed myself, and then it became, people will take it to a whole nother level. They'll find out things about you, then use it against you, threaten you. Oh, I know this about you. Give a fuck. So, but that's how some of these people are. So I always tell all of y'all, whether you're male or female, just to be careful with what you divulge, who you get close to, stuff like that, because it's just. And then I'll tell you a situation where I made a comment, not even in a messy way. I just made a comment about somebody's video, and that person went live talking about the comment I made, trying to make it look like it was, like I was saying something bad about the person. So you got to just really be careful about the YouTube. You just have to. And it's a very funny thing. Like, it's a very frustrating thing. It's y'all look at the people that get the most play. We'll use somebody popular like Anton Daniels. Anton Daniels is allowed, looking like the butterball, overcooked turkey that he looks like, is allowed to get up on his platform and trash Black women and talk about how Black women need to get in the gym. He's allowed to do that. And he has lots of followers that listen to him, even though he looks like he's about a pound cake short from losing his mobility. This motherfucker, you see what I'm saying? But it's not about that. This is it, plain and simple. If y'all want to know how YouTube works, repetitiveness. Get your videos out there. You will build up your own community, and that Negro has built up his own community, his own people, his own family members, his own YouTube family. That's why I call y'all my YouTube family. And so he's pumping out shorts, he's pumping out uploads, he's pumping them out. So he's built his own thing. And so now he's got followers and he can say what he wants. And there's always someone that will listen. And so, I learned a long time ago, I can't be mad about that. I can't be mad that he's putting in that work. I just got to put in the work over here on my channel. Ball turkey. Oh God. All right, y'all. Let me see. What's wrong with Anton? Is he happily married? I don't think someone that's happily married gets up here and talks the way he does all the time in a disparaging way. What's his purpose? Is he trying to help the community? I don't know. Oh, you love my I love it too. Got that herb, honey. Not all of what he says is wrong. Oh, I'm sure it's not. I just can't, just knowing the cooling stuff that he says. See, I didn't first hear about Anton. Let me just tell y'all. I did not first I didn't hear about him on YouTube. I first saw Anton Daniels on Dr. Phil. We can watch the clip if y'all won't see it, but it's something ugly, honey. It's him getting up there embarrassing black folks. Even the white people were like, did he just say that? Did he just say that? Him doing what he does. Him doing what he does. But hey, that's how his channel he's grown. People, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what people say. I came up here for over 13 years and put out a lot of good advice, a lot of good content over the years. And I've had people say, oh, she's not talking about nothing. But they've never watched the show. And the shows that I put out where I shared the good information, they got 50, 60 views. But they'll get up on their platforms and say, oh, she ain't talking about nothing. She ain't this, she ain't that. So it doesn't matter what people say. It really matters how you feel about yourself and your morals and can you sleep well at night? Are you putting out good content that can help people? Because people will always. I've been up here fully clothed and people will say I'm thirst trapping. I did a video a few months ago, sick as a dog, laying in the bed. And somebody made a comment. He removed the comment. I guess he felt embarrassed later on, actually, once he actually listened to what I was saying. But he made a comment about, oh, you're showing off your little bitty titties. You should be ashamed of yourself up here thirst trapping. And I'm thinking, sir, it's not my fault that you're paying attention to my titties. Right now, I'm sitting here talking, having a conversation with you. If somebody is zooming in on my titties, that's not my fault. That's not my fault. That it sounds like you have a problem. You have a problem, sir. And that's another thing people do on social media that I will never understand. If I don't like something, I'm not going to leave a comment about it. I'm just going to move on to the next video. I'm not going to leave a nasty comment. I'm not going to hit the dislike button. I'm just going to move on to the next video. Why do people feel the need to just take time out to try and hurt you, to try and hurt your feelings? Social media has been a blessing and a curse. Some of these evil people have been allowed to just run rampant because they know that they're anonymous behind the black screen and they can say any old filthy thing out their mouth. And that's the bad part about social media. But yeah, I am. I'm going off on a tangent. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Okay, so let me read a few more comments. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's true. That's true. Let me highlight. That's true. Even the dislike button actually does help. But I just don't have the energy. I try to be positive. Hey, Bronze. I try to be positive. I can't, there's an old saying, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Okay. All right. So let's find the video. Here we go. It's about that time. And then I'm going to start dropping the link. And I don't know how to pin it from here. I think I need my phone to pin it. So we'll just drop it a bunch of times. You guys can come up. Let's see. It is called Why Young Men Are Struggling. I'm going to let it play for a little while before I invite you guys up. Okay. Okay, as long as you guys are okay, I just need to see what you guys are saying. Okay, here we go.
Just to be raw about this, would you have sex with you? Can't believe I just said that on Oprah.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me here on the Oprah podcast. I am just delighted to be on the road in New York City with this fantastic audience. Thank you so much. If you're watching us on YouTube, you'll notice that we have more men than usual in our audience. That's because we invited them here because we're talking about the alarming statistics that show that many men, especially young men, are not okay. And actually, in what some people believe is a dire crisis. Before I introduce my guest today, I want to just hear from some of you here. So, what's on your mind? What's your reaction to all of the headlines? You all have been seeing the headlines yourselves. And how is that impacting or reflecting on your life? So, Max, what do you want to say?
First off, thank you both so much. I think this is such an important conversation. I'm 23, I'm a senior at NYU, and I think I'm speaking for all of my friends when I say that we feel lonely. Young men, anger is really the only societally acceptable emotion that we can express. We're confused, and we kind of need a voice in this wilderness, and you are that, and that's why this conversation is so important. So
wow.
Thank you.
Can I just ask you this,
Yeah.
Max? Do your friends say that to each other, or how is that expressed?
This is something that we text each other late at night. This is not something we talk about out in the open. These are conversations that we have, over the safety of a digital wall. And this is something that is really hard for us to talk to each other about face to face out in the open.
And what are you all actually saying? Because the use of the word lonely, I mean, I've never heard, young
Yeah.
men say, I am lonely. So are people texting each other saying, I'm lonely, or are they saying what?
I mean, you've mentioned that it took you forever to cry. I remember the last time one of my male friends texted me, I just cried for the first time in years. And it's out of desperation. Yes, I'm lonely. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. It's desperation.
Okay. Thank you so much. Alfer.
Hello.
Hi.
I think something that really is something that I would focus on pertaining to this issue is a need for role models and within our communities. I grew up in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, and there was an absence at the time of role models within my neighborhood. Of course, I grew up in a single-parent household, but I did have a relationship with my father. But extended role models to look to and to glean from this, it was a dig. And you speak a lot about it, because sometimes it's really, really hard to see where you can't go a certain place if you don't see it. And you want to be able to see where you can go. So I think role models is a really important part of growing.
Okay, you guys. So what I'll do is every so often I'll stop it because I don't want to get in trouble. I probably will still get a copyright for this. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep it up as long as I can because I think it's good information. But the young man, he's young. I think he said that he just graduated college and he feels lonely. So those of y'all just coming in, we're talking about the loneliness that young men are saying that they're feeling. They're having issues with communication. Some of this, and they'll mention it, some of this can be blamed on social media. When we were younger, we had to get out there and get it out the mud. We had to actually talk to each other. I had to go out to the clubs and meet people. It wasn't this, swipe left and swipe right. And do you like the person? And no, it was like you had to go out and meet people. So that's what they're talking about right now. So, okay, here we go. Let me find it again. Let's listen for a little bit.
Up and doing well and finding your place in the community.
Thanks, Alfer. Well, my guest that you're referring to has been sounding the alarm about young men in America. As a father of 2 sons, he speaks, and he says he grapples with this thought. How do I figure out a way to raise confident, decent young men? And I'm sure a lot of you have had that thought for yourselves. That question became the guiding force for his newest book. And let me tell you, it's an amazingly, really profound, thoughtful book. And if you are a man, you're going to want to read it. And if you're a woman, you want to send it to every man you know. It's called Notes on being a man. Fantastic title, by the way.
Thank you.
Welcome, entrepreneur, best-selling author, NYU professor, and podcaster extraordinaire, Scott Galloway. Scott.
Thank you. Thank you.
You say that what's happening to men is a 5-alarm fire for men in the
Dr. Steele, you don't think that a man needs a woman to be complete? And you don't think a woman needs a man to be complete? I'm not talking about like say once you've met somebody, say your wife or your husband dies and you decide to be alone, but like ever, like from the time say you're a 21-year-old man and now you're 92 and you've never had a relationship, you don't think that's a little concerning? Well, don't worry, you guys. I'm gonna let you guys up. I want y'all to listen some more though. Like I have a son, but I think it's important for him to have relationships with women in his lifetime in order for him to have a good life. So let's listen a little bit more, and then I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link, and then we'll listen together. How about that? Oh, I wish I had more time. I didn't talk for 45 minutes, y'all. I didn't wasted our time. But hold on, this is good. Hold on. Okay, where are we?
United States. Tell us what's going on as you see it.
Well, the statistics are pretty stark. If you walk into a morgue and there's 5 people who've died by suicide, 4 are men. 3 times as like we have a homeless problem and an opiate problem, but what we really have is a male homeless and a male opiate problem. 3 times as likely to be addicted, 3 times as likely to be homeless, 12 times as likely to be incarcerated. More single women own homes than single men. Women in urban areas are making more money. And let me be clear, we should do nothing to get in the way of that. But if our young men continue to flail, our country and women aren't going to continue to flourish. And just a couple of things you brought up, loneliness and then role models. 1 out of 4 men can't name a best friend. 1 out of 7 men don't have a single friend. And what I would say is there's a lot of factors around this, but something to be cognizant of is that...
Can I just stop you for a second?
Yeah.
Is that unusual? Is that new?
It's getting worse. And typically when a man isn't in... Women are relationally more invested or more talented establishing relationships. And typically they use their friends as a means of gaining confidence to enter into a romantic relationship. Whereas a man, if he doesn't have a relationship by the time he's 30, there's a 1 in 3 chance he'll be a substance abuser. And also there's a cartoon Oprah of the poor woman in her 30s that didn't find romantic love. And she's in a big sweater looking out on a rainy day, listening to sad music. What a tragedy. That's a cartoon. The reality is men need relationships much more than women. Widows are happier after their husband dies. Widowers, it's true, widowers are less happy. Women live longer in relationships. They live 2 to 4 years longer. Men live 4 to 7 years longer. So men actually need relationships more. What I would argue, or what I would be cognizant of the fact when you're talking about loneliness, is you're up against the deepest pocketed, most talented companies in the world with godlike technology who are trying to do one thing, and that is sequester you from your other relationships. They're either trying to get you to glued to the phone, and one of the ways they glue you to the phone is by enraging you, elevating content that makes you angry at your neighbor, elevate content that makes you start blaming the other gender or blaming immigrants for your problems.
And this is being done on purpose.
Well, they didn't start out as malicious, but I'm in marketing.
Y'all, thank you so much for your comments. I'm listening to everything. Like I said, I got to keep stopping. I can't play it too much through without stopping, but listen to what he's saying. I absolutely agree with this part where he's talking about social media. He's about to tell y'all about the algorithm pushing, which a lot of y'all are not surprised about this. The algorithm is pushing this type of content, and it's making men angry. It's making them, it's feeding on our worst fears. He's going to talk about it. I'm going to be quiet. I promise. We're getting somewhere. Just bear with me. He's going to get there.
Used to think that it was sex that sells. Then the algorithms found something that sells even more in terms of gluing you to a screen, and that is rage. So I'm not suggesting we censor these folks, but they will elevate content They will figure out your political leanings, your fears, and then start elevating content that enrages you, because enragement equals engagement equals shareholder value. So keep in mind, the amount of time you spend on a screen as a young man, and biologically, your prefrontal cortex isn't as developed as a woman. It doesn't catch up until you're 25. The executive function, the need for dopa, is much more dangerous in a young man. Keep in mind that you will find they are trying to essentially convince you can have a reasonable facsimile of life on a screen. So keep in mind, you are up against a foe that is trying to separate you from the outside world. And very simply, mathematically, the more time you spend on a screen, the less likely you are to have loving relationships, the less money you're going to make, the more likely you are going to be to engage in self-harm, the more likely you are going to blame other people. In sum, the worse your life gets based on how much time you spend on a screen. We are mammals. We are meant to be outside and in the company of others. And we have for-profit companies trying to convince you to go the other way. So you're up against some very significant foes. On the idea of role models, the single point of failure, if you reverse engineered a boy coming off the tracks, is when he loses a male role model through either death, divorce, or abandonment. We have more single-parent homes than any nation in the world other than Sweden. And what's interesting is that girls in single-parent homes have the same outcome, same rates of college attendance, same income as dual-parent homes. A boy, when he loses a male role model, at that moment is more likely to be incarcerated than graduate from college. What it ends up is that while boys are physically stronger, they're emotionally and mentally much weaker. And what we need, quite frankly, is we need more men to step up and fill the void. There are 3 times as many women applying to be big sisters in New York as there are men applying to be big brothers. So we have an obligation to get involved in a.
So just a few more minutes, guys, and then I'm gonna open the panel. If you're just, first of all, welcome everybody, XL1, everybody, Young Rias, all you guys. Let me just say hello. If I skip you, I'm so sorry. Sac passe, everyone. So basically, this is a great conversation. They're talking about men, young men in particular now are having a hard time, and I blame social media. Communicating with young women, they're having a hard time verbalizing things. It's really harder than what it used to be. A lot of young men, he's reading the statistics that a lot of young men don't have friends that they can talk to. And we all know we're social beings, men and women. We need someone to talk to sometimes. So this is really good. He's talking about social media and the effects and how the algorithm is purposely pushing out negative things. We know that the negative stuff is what gets the views a lot of times. So let me let y'all get back to it. Probably in about 15 more minutes, I'll drop the link, y'all. I really want you guys to hear what he has to say.
Young man's life, right? And it's just to summarize here, if we want better men, we have to be better men.
Well, I have to say, I think of this book, Notes on Being a Man, as a guidebook, and from your personal perspective, for how men can begin to show up in the world. You talk about that, everything from fitness to nutrition to money to work, and how to meet women. The thing that struck me was that men 18 to 25, 45% of men 18 to 25 have not engaged personally on asking a woman out for a date, or I find that to be shocking.
Almost half of young men have never asked a woman out in person. And there's a bunch of factors around that. One, it's difficult. I mean, it's just not easy. One of the key skills I think a man has to treat or try and give his son is to how to express romantic interest while making that person feel safe. And this is only anecdotal evidence. When I go out and I'm in social situations, I'll have women approach me and say, I'm here, I'm single and I'm ready to mingle, I look amazing, and a man hasn't approached me in 3 months, right? And 80% of women still expect the man to make that initial approach. And also, to a certain extent, men's interest in romantic and sexual relationships has been pathologized. Like there's something wrong if you want to meet women and ultimately have sex. And I think we need to start celebrating it, because a man's desire to be in a relationship and, quite frankly, to have physical encounters is fire. And that is, it can be destructive. You spend too much time with porn, you start objectifying women, it can lead to misogynist or dangerous places. But that fire can also be captured in an engine and create tremendous progress. Wanting to have sex, if channeled correctly, which it is for most men, makes you want to dress better, smell better, have a kindness practice, have your act together, develop the resilience and the confidence to approach someone, and maybe they're not interested, and guess what? You're both going to be fine. These are key attributes. We need to celebrate men wanting to have relationships and making an approach.
I'm going to pause it right there. Thank you guys. Hang in there with me. Mahogany is getting to a point. I want him to get all these points out. So once again, we'll start with the very first point. Young men are having issues because of the phone. Not just young men, young people. They're having problems communication because of the phone. Number two, there is a problem with people approaching people face to face, because everything right now it's very electronic. A young man sees a woman he likes on Instagram. Well, guess what? She's got about 100 other young men in the DM. That's not her fault. That's just the way it is. So, I just think that these topics are very, very important. It's going to be very important going forward, because technology is not slowing down, even though I honestly would like it to. AI is a blessing and a curse at the same time. Okay. I'll deal with that another time, but it is, because I'm very old school, very old fashioned, and I believe in the old way. I just want to say this before I let it go on. Like I said, back in the day, young people had to get it out the mud. You liked the girl, you had to go up to her and say, hey, I like you. Now, not so much. And if you do like her, you get in her DMs, guess what? Like I said, there's about 100 other people in her DMs, and she doesn't know who. It's not her fault. She doesn't know who to choose. And so it's frustrating for the young men and the women. And it's sad. It's a problem. The only solution, I think, is for us as parents, older people, is to teach our kids. Like, I actually did this. I talked about this on my show. I approached a man. I wanted to see what it would be like for me to approach a man. This happened years ago, but I was out with some friends, and it was like a dare, but I did it. I pulled myself together, and I walked over to the table. He was sitting over there by himself, and I said, excuse me. I noticed you're over here by yourself. My name is such and such. Do you have someone? And he smiled. Y'all should have seen the look on his face, y'all. He was a dark-skinned brother, but he was blushing from ear to ear, and I was blushing from ear to ear. It was the funniest thing. And it took him a while. He was kind of stuttering over his words. He was like, well, yes, I'm married, but thank you so much for coming over. He said, I really appreciate, your kind words. And I said, well, you're a nice looking brother, blah, 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 blah. And let me just tell you, up until the point I walked over to him, my heart was pounding out of my chest. I am, and I'm not really a scared type of person, but I was sweating. My heart was pounding out of my chest, and he was very respectful to me. He could have been nasty. He could have been like, damn, B, he did none of that. And so I'm saying all this to say it is an art, and it's not easy. I don't think women really realize how hard that stuff is for a man to approach you. It is not easy. And so I would ask for us, we need some training too on how to either accept a man's advances or deny his advances. The point is, we need to be respectful to one another. Women need to learn how to respect men, even if they're not interested in them. They need to learn how to be respectful when a man has taken out a little bit of time to express his feelings or express his nature, his interest in you, because it is not hard to do. It is not hard to do. It is hard to do. I'm sorry. It is hard to do. It is not easy to approach someone. You're being very vulnerable with them. So I agree. I think the young men need to be taught. and they need male role models to teach them. I can't teach my son how to hunt, and I hate to say it like that, but men are literally they're out there approaching women because that's what they're supposed. That I believe that's the nature. That's the nature, and it's our nature to either accept or deny, and that's a much harder talent. But we also need to teach our daughters how to turn men down respectfully and how to accept respectfully. This is a two-way street. So I just thought this was an amazing conversation. I'm going to step away for a little while, let the video play a little bit longer. I think just a few more minutes before I drop the link. Okay. I hope you guys are enjoying this because I am. Okay. Let me find it. Let's play.
Approach. And if you don't develop those skills and that resilience and those calluses from rejection, you're going to struggle in other parts of your life. So the most rewarding thing in life is relationships, full stop. And I think the most rewarding relationship is building a life with someone and having kids. I'm not saying you have to have that to be happy. And quite frankly, just to be raw about this, when I saw my partner who I've had kids with, I wasn't thinking I'd really like lower rates on auto insurance. I was thinking, just to be blunt, I would really like to have sex with her. And that forced me to be a better person, to try to have a kindness practice, to demonstrate excellence. And 18 months later, we had our first.
I'm so glad he said that. And ladies, it's okay for a man to see you and like what he sees and wants to have sex with you. Like, that's not. I think when I was younger, see, it's a fine line. We want men to be attracted. We want them to approach us, but we don't necessarily want that from every Joe Schmo. And so it's a very fine line. We don't get to choose who comes and approaches us, right? And then that's why I say it's an art that men and women need to learn. I just watched a video where a man followed this young woman. It was quite disturbing, for 3 stores, talking about, look at that ass. That's harassment. You see what I'm saying? So there's a point where a young man would need to know, okay, I'm going to back up. I'm going to show this woman some respect. She's already denied me. Let me accept that. Let me go on about my business. And she wasn't rude to him, because if it was me, honey, I would have called security. I done told this, look here, y'all. I done told this, look. I done told his ass to leave me alone. I got a man, and he done followed me this the 3rd store. You see what I'm saying? So it's an art form that both men and women need, young people need to learn. To respect goes both ways. So I love this. I'm gonna drop the link, like I said, maybe 15 more minutes, maybe 10 more minutes.
Son. So let's stop demonizing men for wanting to procreate. It's a wonderful thing as long as you channel it into wanting to be a better man. The only thing I can guarantee you is that anything wonderful in your life is going to have a lot of no's. Full stop. And unfortunately, men aren't getting to know because they're afraid to, or they have what they think is a cheap substitute for these relationships online.
So let's talk for a moment about your younger years, your parents, and what happened between them and your life after their divorce. That was all a huge, huge influence on you. How did your mother and father shape who you are as a man?
I was raised by a single immigrant mother, lived and died a secretary, light of my life, right? And my father, like a lot of us, was a
I actually think that's a good place to stop. So here we go with the link. Like I said, I might make this a 2-part show. If you guys have anything to, add on, I'd like to hear it. Hey, Dr. Steele, I would love for you to come up because I don't know if you heard, I was kind of responding to your comments, which I think I understood your comments, but I just want you to clarify it yourself if you could. I'm not going to force any of you guys to come up here, but if you could come up here, that'd be great. But yeah, I guess we don't need the opposite sex, but I think to have a fulfilled life, I think most people would, I think that's what it's about for me. It's companionship. So I'm not embarrassed to say that I want companionship. I'm not embarrassed at all to say that. Healthy companionship. They're going to get into it later in the video, but men bring a lot. That's why they're asking for, oh, welcome. Let me add him. Hey, Dr. Steele, it's good. Let me make it even so we're both on here together. Hey, how are you doing, sweetheart? Oh, I can't hear you. It's okay. We're going to get it together. Okay, now I think I can hear you. Can you hear me? You guys, let us know if y'all can hear him. Tell us if you can hear him. Y'all say something, please. Let us know. Thank you. Oh, they say that your voice. Do you want to try and go and come back in? Do you want me to? Okay. I'm glad he came on camera too. Y'all see how nice Dr. Steele looks? He's a very handsome older gentleman. Like I told him, I think I first met him over there with Sister George and Concrete. And he's been in the Manosphere spaces for years. He's one of those men that has been here for a very long time in our spaces. Oh, and May, you're welcome to come up too, Sweet Pea. You know that. Any of you. Okay, yes, sir.
Okay, can you hear me better?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome.
Okay. Go ahead. Do you?
Okay. I remember in my previous relationships before my relationships with women, I can remember when I was in college and high school, I used to be depressed because, I felt like no women, liked me or anything like that. But after college, everything seemed to change. So I was like, wow, I had some hope. Well, my first relationship, was 7 years. And to be honest with you, I did not know what a relationship was really about. Mm-hmm. I did not understand my role as a man, at first. But anyway, after 7 years, we broke up, but we're still best friends now. Then the 3 other relationships, again, not understanding who I really was, who I really was. I did not know, I did not really understand what they're trying to say. And those relationships are short-lived. I go out to the clubs, I'm looking fly and everything, but I was looking for that completeness. And I think that's what really killed me. Then I came to YouTube, right, to watch. And I understood where I was going wrong at. I did not perform, excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Okay. I did not perform my due diligence as a man because I did not know what I was doing. They talk about women submitting to a man, and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't do that. Mm-hmm. I did not communicate or anything like that. So then after that, there were 5 guys I ran into on YouTube. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is what I was missing. The mindset I needed to become, to have a woman. I did not really know myself. I had low self-esteem. I felt the need to have a woman to make my life complete. And they said that, you know, you have to know yourself, love yourself. You have to make yourself complete. And once you make your, see, that's what I wanted to clarify. You know, you don't need women to make your life complete. I mean, I did have a situation where I was lucky my parents were still living, because I just left the hospital and I needed assistance on something. And I thought, well, you know, if I had a wife that did that, I wouldn't have to worry about it. But I was lucky. You know, I had to take care of myself and everything. That means I have to be complete. And if I can be complete, if I meet a woman, right, you know, who will submit to me, you know, she'll know what I'm about, because I would be complete. Yes, a woman is good to have. Clue, what's up?
No. Oh, sorry. It's a comment in the chat, not you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
All right. So that's why you know, we see these men on that video. You know, they feel lonely because their self-esteems are so low. They feel that, like, you know, they have to have that, I forgot what that word was called. Validation for a woman, and they have to do whatever it takes, instead of really knowing themselves, knowing what their standards are, so that if a woman does get with you, you know, she'll understand your standards. Women are willing. They're looking for that leadership. They're looking, you know, to feel safe, and appreciated. Now, let me say this before I end.
Okay.
And this is about submission. Some people think submission is kowtowing to a man, or being voiceless slaves and stuff like that. No, that's not what it's about. It is about respecting your program. Women respecting your program. And that's all we require. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay, I'm glad that I'm gonna let Clue go, and then James, and welcome you all to the panel. Thank you guys for coming up. And anybody, it's open day. I don't do this enough. Thank you so much for explaining it. And that's what I said. I think that's what he means. You know, of course, it's not like food and water. You don't need somebody, but we would all, I think, like somebody that we could live with in a good situation. But go ahead, Clue. It's your turn.
Yeah, I said it before. Scott said it. It's the phones, social media. It's there's a town, I forgot the name of it, in West Virginia, where they can't get cell phone service from any of the carriers. And those people, I looked it up, those people are not lonely. They talk to each other. It's like the 80s over there. The phones are substituting what you need to be doing, which is, like he said, like Scott said, getting dressed, make yourself look good, meeting a woman. You need to actually meet a woman, not be on freaking Tinder. So all that stuff's making us lonely. Not lonely, but making men lonely.
I 100% agree. I'm a welcome hustler. If you're done, then I'm going to pass it to James.
Yeah.
Okay, James, it's your turn. Welcome, James.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, salute to the platform, salute to the chat, salute to everybody on the playback. That's my little mantra, whatever I do, you know what I mean? Thank you for talking about Charles Faulkner, man. I've been knowing that brother for over 10 years in this space. You know what I mean? We had our ups and downs, but that's my brother. When I came in this space, right, I wasn't looking for like answers to women. Like I never really had women problems because I was a nerd, but I fought my social group. Like my sandbox brothers, we still friends to this day. It's like that's where I gravitated towards. And I just look at it like when you watch Class Act, when you watch Duncan Puny Hughes and Blade Brown. I think some brothers
My movie.
probably went off to college and like left their other brothers to the waistline. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe he was a Pookie or Ray Ray. Maybe he had some good qualities on how to get women, but he wasn't good at maybe math or whatever the case may be, right? But they should have gravitated towards them type brothers. Like each one could take something from each other, far as tech, far as engineering classes, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like a trade off.
I'm
So
gonna ask you a question. Go ahead. Go ahead and finish.
nah, man, because me listen to Charles Faulkner, right? And he's a military man. He's been a cop for a very long time. He's a coach, a wrestler. He actually took young boys into his home, like over 20 something boys into his home who was lost out here. You know what I mean? And salute to him for doing that in Baltimore. You know what I mean? So just listen to him and like he never get his flowers because they always mention like three godfathers. I think he's the fourth godfather, like an honorable mention.
Well,
So
that's not.
I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it right there, yo, because I can't get long winded.
Well, I appreciate your comments, and I mean, shout out to him. I'm still learning. Even though I've been here a long time, I learn new things about y'all every day. That's why I watch
Right.
out from the clouds. I saw your live stream yesterday, H&M. After I go to H&M, then if you guys want to stay up here with me, you're welcome to. I want to listen to more of the video. And then what I'll do is when y'all want me to stop the video, I'll stop the video and you can speak on what the doctor is saying because the video is very, very good. But go ahead, H&M. Were you able to see much before you came up here?
Yes, I did. First of all, salute to you, Mahogany. Glad to see you. Dr. Steele, Clue, Keels, how y'all doing?
Yo.
Okay.
Salute.
Yeah. Am I
Okay.
coming through clear? Because my signal been acting funny.
No, we can hear you fine. Are you okay if I start the
Okay.
video, or did you want to say anything else?
Well, I kind of want to comment on what something Dr. Steele was saying earlier about when he was younger, he didn't quite know himself or anything like that. He was going to the club trying to get a girl. Sir, I've been there myself. Fresh out of high school, I more or less been in it too. But that wasn't for me because, first of all, what business do you have going to the club looking for a girlfriend or a future wife in the first place? That's the first thing. And second of all, much like yourself, I too had to let go of that whole I need a woman to be complete. I need to find a girl to love me for me. This way I'm not a real man. I said, fuck all that bullshit. Be myself, live my life, and do whatever I have to do. And just like that, hold on a minute. I got way more female attention with that mindset than I did with the whole lovey-dovey blue pill mindset. So I guess you could say I was red pill if I knew what the hell red pill was. So think like that.
Okay, I want you, when you get a chance, because I don't want to rewind it. The thing is an hour long. I want you just to listen to. Have you seen the Oprah show with Scott Galloway yet?
No, I didn't see that. I did see bits of that video where it's talking about younger people in the meeting. Younger men are having a hard time meeting. I did chime on. I did see that part a little bit.
Well, you know what? Well, I'm gonna play a little.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. It's not you. It's something going on with the thing. It's not you. Hey, Riaz. I'm gonna let Riaz talk. Hey, sweetheart. And then I'm gonna play the video. I want, if you can stay up. I know y'all got things to do, but if you can stay up, I want you guys to stay up here. And then as I go through what happened to? Where'd you go?
You want the clear sound, I think.
I'm here though. Sorry. I'm here.
I just want to tell you, I tried. So I wish you had Cash App. So I tried to do. I basically have had 3 different numbers with PayPal. They make you use your phone number, and I've changed my number so many times. Basically, I have to put in a new phone number because my old number is still showing. My account is still showing my old number, and pretty much won't allow me to do anything.
Wow. Okay. It's all right. No problem. I understand. No problem. No, it's okay. You can take your time. I'm very understanding. No problem. I appreciate that though, I understand, what you're kind of going for. I'm trying to be considerate for you. I do appreciate you, you try and know and give, and I appreciate it a lot. I'm just trying to be very considerate for you, though, because I understand, I'm just understanding that basically, okay, look, maybe it's your number, maybe, something happened, though. So, yeah, I actually understand, like, look, it's okay. I'd rather just be patient. When it comes, it comes. But also, though, to me, though, like when I was in the school, basically at 14, the girls approached me wanting to date. And I wasn't thinking about dating at that age. I was thinking about making friends and just doing education things, though.
No, I understand. I want you to do this because I'm about to play the video. Before you hop down, guys, leave. I know
I'm
you've
not
done.
hopping down. I'm staying up.
Okay, leave your PayPal. We're talking about Young Reyes and Cynical both won mod appreciation. It's something I started doing a few years back, and I wasn't able to give him his package because he doesn't have Cash App, and I don't have PayPal. I had it, but I'm locked out of it. So we've been trying to figure this out to where I could give him his reward because he's an awesome supporter. But I'm gonna go ahead. What I'm gonna play the video, and you gentlemen, whenever y'all want me to stop the video, let me know. Okay. All right, so here we go, and yeah, let me find it. So we stopped with him talking about his family. What were you going to say?
Hold on, I was just going to say, go ahead and do your thing.
Scotsman, not very sophisticated, left at the age of 13. And just to be crude, he was a handsome man with a Scottish accent in 70s California, which meant he could not only think with his dick, he could listen to it. He was married and divorced.
Very nice.
I believe I just said that on Oprah.
Yeah.
He was married and divorced.
I can see how you could think with it. I'm just trying to understand how he listens to it. But anyway, okay.
Married and divorced 4 times. Started his 3rd marriage while he was still married to my mom. My father was not an especially high character person in terms of how he treated women and how he treated my mom. And so not having a male role model around, he moved away. I think took quite frankly, a toll on me. But the worst part about it was he wasn't very good to my mom. He wasn't nice. And the lesson I carry forward as a father, I do think the best thing you can do to raise good men, quite frankly, is just to be a very loving, supportive partner. You want good men who are more secure and better in relationships. They will model you. You can tell them whatever you want. They're just going to watch what you're doing. The first rule as a man is you need to be very good to their mother. Even if you end up going through divorce, the more generous you are, the kinder you are, I think your sons are going to notice that and going to model it. My mom was, every day, when you get older, you get more thoughtful. That's the good news. The bad news is you get more thoughtful and you start thinking about, how did I get on Oprah, right?
Mm.
So I want to ask you, gentlemen, do you guys, hey, LA Project, good to see you, sweetie.
Hey, what up, LA?
It's an open panel. You feel welcome to come up, okay? This is a really good show, but how do you guys feel about what Dr. Yeah, salute. How do you guys feel about what Dr. Galloway said that, men teaching their sons by modeling, just being good to their moms? What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I kind of agree with
that. All facts. I think it's all facts because let's face it, parents are the first teachers of the children. They're going to model themselves after their behavior. Whatever they see the mom or aunt or dad doing, that's what they're going to pick up on. So if your dad's being a horrible person to your mom or vice versa, that can have a bad effect on kids. So yeah, being a good partner to each other is important. Whereas the mom or the dad, both are important. Good moms and good fathers are important. Yeah.
He needs to interact with men as a boy.
Mm-hmm.
That's
yep, that too.
First the father, but if the father's not around, there needs to be somebody.
I'm fortunate to have both.
Interact with regularly.
I agree. Oh, go ahead. Yes, go ahead, sweetheart.
I feel you though. I mean, yeah, I kind of agree though in some kind of way though, but I just say it's like both how. I think it's just both of them know how they just treat each other though. I think I'm just a fortunate case to have both, and they kind of did good and everything like that. For me, the only reason though I stayed single though is because of faith reasons. I'm staying a virgin. I'm staying single for a good reason because I want to get married one day. And basically, the culturally for me, I don't believe in pre-marital dating. Because it's like a temptation into one thing to another. It's not that I'm not shaming people who do so. If you want to do it, do it. But me personally, it's not that type of thing. And also, though, my mother just basically wants to help me find the person who's right for me. It's not that I can't do it myself. I could have done it myself ages ago, but it's just more like I need assistance as well, so I don't get taken advantage of. It's not blaming the other person. It's just kind of true, though. Lately, I think when I was 14, the girls approached me wanting to date. I said no. And I said it respectfully, and I told the truth. Because one, I considered their feelings, their time, and how they took so much effort. I appreciated though they actually, took their time to actually ask me though, and I commend them for that. But me personally, I said no, thank you, because it's like pressure though. Because look, everyone else was doing it, everyone else was trying to get me into it, and I was like, no, it's not that I don't want, I'm not into that person. It's that it was pressure though. Instead of me naturally thinking that,
No, I understand, and we've talked about this before, Riaz. I
Yeah.
respect that.
Yeah.
Your but I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna continue playing the video, okay, Sweet Pea?
Okay,
'Cause
sure.
it's a long video. I might actually skip through it so we could get to the good parts, but let's listen a little bit more.
And the way I got on Oprah was, one, I'm a product of big government, the generosity and vision of California taxpayers and the regents of UC. I got to go to UCLA and Berkeley for almost no money, had a 74% admissions rate when I applied. This year was 9%. But also just the irrational passion for my well-being and my mother. Every day, I remember going to lunch with my mom. I was a teenager. I was 5'10" with terrible acne, 110 pounds. And she would literally stop and go, "You are so handsome. I can't get over it." And she would sit there and stare at me. Anyway, if you say to a kid every day in, explicit and implicit ways, "You're wonderful," I think at some point they start to believe that.
Yeah.
So that confidence is still with
That's
me.
really one of the first things I underlined on page 28 when you said, this is something for us all to remember. Having a good person express how wonderful you are hundreds of times changes everything. I was tethered. I'd never thought of it that way before. Having a person express how wonderful you are hundreds of times actually tethers you in a way that nothing else can. Yeah.
Yeah, I was grounded, and the thing is, and this goes back to mentorship, and there's a lot of men in this audience, and by virtue of the fact you're here, you probably have your act together more than you realize.
Yeah.
And there's a fear that you need to be a CEO or a baller or an adolescent psychiatrist to get involved in a young man's life. It is so easy to add value. What I would suggest is masculinity is taking care of yourself, taking care of your community, taking care of your country. But I think the ultimate expression of masculinity is to get involved in a young man's life. And the place to start is with single mothers in your workplace. You want to come over and watch a ball game. Would you like to hang out? I'm washing my car this weekend. Would you like to come over?
No, I disagree with that. You're muted.
You're muted, Mahogany.
I thought that was a great place to start. Let me ask the question, then I'm gonna go around. I want to hear all your answers. Why do you think more men are not mentoring young boys? Why don't we see more male mentors? I know we do see some, but why do you guys think? I'll start. So to make it fair, it was Dr. Steele who was first. We'll try and go in the same order. Dr. Steele, what do you think about that? Do you think that's good? Men need to mentor more? I think Clue said that, but any thoughts on what he just said?
Well, I think the male person who should really be that role model is the father.
But what if they don't have a father?
Okay, now if they don't have a father, well, sometimes, young boys would end up finding those role models themselves, whether it's a friend, whether it's another adult. That's basically how it goes. Now there are some programs where they would provide role models like 100 black men as such. But most of the time, young boys would find their own role models. Now,
Can I go? Do
go
you
ahead.
think? Do you think? Because I kind of disagree. I think, like, for instance, say a 5-year-old boy, how is he going to find his own role model? I, as a parent, I went and looked out for. I'll talk about my situation later because I want you guys to be able to talk. But I guess he's saying for men to step up and say, for instance, in our after school program, we have a lot of men that volunteer with the kids. How come more men aren't doing that? Are you don't think that's important for men to do?
Well, it is very important, of course, to have men role models.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, and I think in this day and age, the reason why lesser and lesser men, are we don't have that many role models because simply they don't have the right mindset for it. The right mindset for role models. And if they do try to be a role model with the wrong mindset, that could be sometimes dangerous for that young boy. So I think this is why we don't have that many male role models anymore.
Okay, Clue, did you want to add on? I want to give everybody a chance, and then I'll put my little 2 cents in about it. Go ahead.
I believe the reason why they're not mentoring young kids because society made it very uncomfortable for a man to do that. Society has told. I mean, just if a man just says he would like to be a kindergarten teacher, that would not be received well by the majority of society. And if he became one, his work environment would be hostile. So it's not really comfortable. It's not really an uncomfortable. It's not really an environment that's comfortable for him. So that's why they shy away. Like, okay, let the women do it.
Okay, well, let me ask this question. Who says it has to be a bunch of preschool? Maybe it can be, I don't know, teenagers between ages of 13 and 18-year-olds. What about that? What about that age demographic?
Oh,
I mean,
there was no
better.
There's no age. Yeah, I'm just asking about volunteering. There's no age.
I mean, in a coach role, yes, but anything else, it's not going to be received well.
Okay, James, and try and keep it because I got to get to Young Riaz and
Yeah,
H.
I'm gonna keep it small. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be long-winded. My thing
Okay.
is on Mahogany. I think you really need to reach out to Charles Faulkner and do like a one-on-one interview and let him tell his testimony because we don't control media, we don't control any of these outlets like that. And me personally, right? I think because I go outside of YouTube, I go to other sectors in these spaces. They call it the dirty sector of YouTube. And there's guys who came home from prison who did long stretches, like over 25 years of their life, and they reformed their life, and they are mentoring their community, young boys in the community, because they see you gotta see something. Like if these boys in I don't want the educated brothers to go to the projects and all of that to risk their lives. But if dudes who actually been in that environment, them the ones who need to reach out. And maybe the guys who moved from the community and became successful, they need to be behind the scenes, like give a paycheck out, because we don't want to see the situation with young Dolph who got deleted and things of that nature. I'm actually in my community, and my brother is in the community who actually mentoring young boys. Like my neighbor, he's like 10 years old. I reach out to him because I see myself in him, wow, you know what I mean, raised with a single mother and stuff like that. I get back, buy shoes, coats, boots, make sure his grades cool, talk to him. You know what I mean? I just do little things like that, bro. I do that for all the kids in my community. It's like it's teachers over here, it's bus drivers over here. So we just a loving community. All right.
Okay. No, I'm going to add on to everything you guys are saying, but I'm going to give Young Riaz a chance and then go to H&M.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything you want to
Do you have
say
anything to add though? Wait, so what's the question though?
Oh, it's about mentorship. Why, according to them, men don't mentor young men as much as they need, as they need. You know, help
Mm,
other young men. Why more men who have a better understanding of socialization? Why aren't they reaching back to the younger men to help them out?
I don't know. It just depends on the environment, though, and also comfortability. But then it also depends on the child as well, though. What they feel like, who they more comfortable with, though. Like it
Mhm.
depends on the child as well, though. I think that's kind of complicated than that, probably. So to me, it's just probably also how the child feels as well. Like, of course, though, like when they have like a male mentor and stuff like that, and a female one, though. I think it's just more like comfortability, not just with the guys doing it, but it's also about the child, though. Do they feel comfortable around this person too, though? So it's kind of complicated in that.
Okay. Go ahead, H&M. What do you think about it? And then I'm gonna hurry up and move on. Do you have anything about mentorship and men?
Oh yeah, the old mentorship part. Well, I kind of want the comment of what Clue said. He said by age 16 it's too late. Well, that's why I say maybe at least 11, 12 years old, but somebody else say even by middle school is kind of too late. So my question is, what age should we start mentoring kids? 6, 7, 8, 9? Because
The
I
beginning of
believe
school,
because
5.
I mean, think about it. We have the juvenile justice system for a reason to take kids who we felt like it was too late for them and try to reintegrate them back into society instead of treating them like grown adult criminals. Trust me, I did some internship for a juvenile detention center, and I've seen the stuff that those kids. I hear about the stuff that those kids have to go through, so they don't see it as being, oh, it's too late. They're 16, 17. It's too late. So I'm not even sure that's the right mindset to have either. I mean, everybody got their place. There's only so much you can do depending on where you stand. But to say 15, 16, anything above middle school is too late, I don't know. I don't think I agree with that 100%. Just saying.
No, I understand what all of you guys are saying, and I agree. I'll use my son for an example. For me and his dad, like I believe in the after school program. I've talked about this at nauseum. And LA Project, I just want you to know, since you're a content creator and I know you're one of the ones that I'm gonna make my way over there. I will give you a wrench later on. I'm trying to downsize wrenches, but if you're a content creator and I know you will get a wrench. I just haven't done it. But basically, let me just say this. Yeah, since he was little, we have kept him in swimming lessons and karate lessons, all done by a lot of men. He was always surrounded by men. I think it's up to adults to really find mentors for their children. If you're a single mom, I think it's vital for you to find respectful men, not just any man, but men that you can trust, because children are vulnerable, whether they're boys or girls, they're vulnerable. So you need to find real good people to send your kids to. But my son grew up and there were so many men in his life that weren't his father, but like he had coaches. And I just think that makes a child a well-rounded adult. I think it's very important. I would say for boys and girls, but especially for boys, to have some kind of male that they can talk to and go to. There were times when my son got upset with me. I knew he was upset with me, but he would talk to his coach. So great advice. And I agree with you, H&M. I understand what people are saying. I'm going to let Exiled One up here. Give me 1 second, Exiled One. I do think the younger the better, but I agree with H&M that I don't think it's ever too late. And that's why we need people in all these different fields, right? Teaching all these different things to different age groups. Like his karate class was as young as 4 years old all the way up to 18. So
Oh yeah.
and it's
Okay.
never too late. Don't give up on them. I'm gonna
Yeah,
let Excel one up and hey Misha.
being a
Hey,
self-defense practitioner
okay.
myself, that's good for them. Yep.
I feel you though. I'll be real with you. I used to do
I'm
kickboxing and I
confused.
did taekwondo, so I kind of understand though. So I
Hold on
used
a
to
second.
do.
I don't know why Misha doesn't have a wrench. I never took Misha's wrench away, ever. Misha, did you change your channel or something? Misha has always had a wrench here. She's one of my
Probably.
day ones. I'm gonna fix that, y'all. let me let Exiled One up here. Exiled One, go ahead and go. And then once he gets through talking, I'm going to go ahead and finish playing the video. And we'll probably stop it. We're not going to watch the whole video because it's long. And then we'll review the second part of the video. I think that sounds good. Exiled One, did you want to say something?
Salute, Exile.
Salute.
You got something to say?
What's going on, bro? Yeah, for some reason my mic muted on some weird stuff. But I think men can give good advice if they're good men to other men. But honestly, I mean, it's all about compatibility. I mean, yeah, like the gentleman on panel said earlier, first of all, you do have to be complete and whole in yourself, because any unhappiness with yourself, the other half is going to pick up on that. But I mean, as far as a one-way road of teaching someone how to find that one, if it was that easy, everybody would have that one. And what you got up, H&M? How you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I had to step away for a bit. Yeah, shout out to
Kels, I ain't seen you in a while, man.
he be everywhere, just like me.
Bro, yo, you know I be everywhere, man. I know you bros up here for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you, bros. We never had no real smoke with each other, man. And I like having panels like this where it's well rounded, well diverse. We all got our own opinions, but we are trying to come to conclusions to help these young bros, these young male young boys out here, man, because we see it. We see these young bros
Yeah.
turning right now. Now they going to the quarter zips. Now we see this on TikTok, we see this on YouTube, we see this on Instagram and things like that.
Even in the, I was gonna say though, cause even in the music as well, I kind of know a UK rapper. Basically, they got D. Basically, he recently started to rep those, quarter zips though, cause he's mostly known for like the tracksuits and the other stuff. Though he's a UK rapper. Though basically, he's even starting to wear quarter zips, cause he's noticed that though, and he's trying to rebrand a bit. He's changed up his sound. He's changed up his sound a bit, like he lives that life though. Basically, he lives what he raps though, but he's trying to basically change his life, because this time though he's been in and out of jail, but this time it's more serious though, man. This time it's very serious though. That's why he's trying to change his life as much as possible, and he's trying to he's kind of changing up his image a bit.
We all find God when we're in serious trouble.
What's a
Not
quarter
just
zip?
God, but I mean like
Yeah, we
wearing
do.
quarter zips.
Yeah, what's a quarter zip? I've heard that term.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I fixed it.
Oh, what's up, Glue?
I'm still
Yeah.
kind of pissed off because, like, have y'all experienced that where YouTube will just change wrenches? Like, that kind of pisses
No,
me off.
not really.
Nope.
I've seen
Not
so
really.
much stuff. I've seen so much stuff in YouTube. It's ridiculous. Whether it's me
Yeah,
losing a few subscribers or me losing a view count, I've seen crazy shit
Oh,
happen.
we,
I did
oh
nothing
yeah,
wrong.
that, yes, I feel you on that though. Isn't it also on the shorts as well though, bro? When you post something, like basically, it takes so long for it to like load how many people actually view, and you have so many
Yeah,
people
yeah,
interacting type thing.
well, I just wanted to be
Yep,
known
that too.
because I would never do that because me and Misha have been. She's
Well,
literally also one of my
No,
dating.
sis,
Like YouTube
sis,
be
I would strongly suggest if they're claiming they never changed their channel, clicking on it and confirming that that is actually their channel and not somebody cloning their account
That's a
trying
good
to
point.
get a wrench to do some crazy stuff.
Oh, that's Misha though. I that's her. That's her.
No, I know about Misha though. She cool though, but yeah, I feel
Yeah,
you.
we're also friends on Instagram, so I know that that's her.
Okay, so you
Figure it out.
confirmed.
Stuff like that pisses me off though, because then people think that I did it on purpose and I didn't. That is, you're welcome, sweetheart. So we're gonna move forward. Because this thing is long. I'm gonna probably cut it off soon though, so we could finish the other half. I would encourage you guys, H&M, you do content. I don't know if you do content, James. I don't know if you do content, Dr. Steele, but continue to do that. This Oprah thing is really very interesting, and I'd like to hear all of your opinions about it. I'm gonna try and fast forward through the video though. Here we go.
Okay.
But that really is the single point. And even just saying that boys needed men a few years ago was seen as triggering. What, women can't raise men? Of course they can. But the research is clear. Boys need men, and there's an absence of them in our society right now.
Yeah, I remember years ago doing a show and a lot of women, single mothers, getting offended when the experts said at that time that you can be a great mother, but you can't be a father, because a lot of mothers think that they are also the fathers, but men need male role models, period. That's what you're saying.
100%. And also, to be clear, I think that masculine, we talk in the book about masculine and feminine energy, that masculine energy can be brought in a household headed by two women. That feminine energy can be brought, that mix. I think the mix of masculine and feminine energy is the greatest alliance in history. The genders have done a great job of convincing themselves that it's the other gender's fault. And I hold on to that the greatest alliance in history is a mix of the wonderful kind of healing, nurturing, gracefulness of femininity and the more risk-aggressive, more what I'll call protective instincts of masculine energy. But I want to be clear, neither of those attributes are sequestered to people born as men or women. My closest male friends tend to be more feminine in nature. I'm drawn to men who are more caring. But I do think masculinity comes easier to people born as males. And that if they need a code, they can lean into an aspirational form of masculinity. I think that we all...
I know he said, okay, this masculinity can be brought by two women. And then he said, he was about to say, and two men, he was about to say that, femininity can be brought by two men, but he stopped himself. Why did he stop himself?
I will say, because I haven't listened to the whole thing, and I don't agree. I think a man brings masculinity and a woman brings femininity. But I guess he's trying to say that it is true. We have both. Women, we have a nature that's both. Like if you're a well-rounded person, you have a little bit of both. Meaning, a man can be masculine and still be sensitive, and a woman can be nurturing and still be a little tough when she needs to be. I think that's what he's trying to say. But I'm glad you caught that clue. I'm glad you. Okay, because I that's my first time actually hearing that part.
He'll make sense because like I said in the comments earlier, he'll make sense, and then he'll go off into something else, like when he was defending climate change on this show. He wants to sneak in some of the the woke stuff, as May said. You want to sneak it in just a little bit and then go back to the facts.
I don't think that he was doing that. I think he was just having a conversation, and he's so used to having a conversation on both spectrums. But right now, he's trying to focus on just the male side of things and how a man can achieve his goal in partnership, bro. So when he started talking that other stuff, he realized that's not that discussion right now.
Okay, May gave you a compliment, Clue, but I'm gonna play some more, and y'all just whenever you want me to stop it, I'll stop it. I'm gonna play some more.
Need a code, and I think young men are desperate for some sort of guardrails.
Okay, on page 137, you say every man needs to develop a code, a series of adjectives or behaviors that guide and define his everyday behavior. So how do young men develop a code amidst so much, divisiveness and distractions? How do you get a code?
Well, people get it from different places. They can get it from their religion.
Yeah.
They can get it from the military. They can get it from their family. I got my first code, I would argue, from my workplace. There was just a way you approached work and other people, and that was very helpful to me. But what I put forward in the book is I think masculinity can serve as a code, but an aspirational vision of it, specifically be a provider. I think every man at the outset of his career should assume at some point he might have to take economic responsibility for his household.
Because you believe that's one of the tenets of being a man.
Well, I think in a capitalist society, men are disproportionately evaluated on their economic viability and also the way men evaluate themselves. And if you're not economically viable, I think you're going to have a tough time having the self-esteem, having society respect you, and quite frankly, attracting mates. And we don't like to say this out loud, but 75% of women say economic viability is key to a mate. Only 25% of men say this about women. So the reality is, as much as we'd like to think it doesn't matter, when the woman starts making more money than the man in a household, the likelihood of divorce doubles. The use of erectile dysfunction drugs triples because the man feels worse about himself. I am not suggesting that we do anything to get in the way of women's ascent economically. It's wonderful. We need it. Quite frankly, It won World War
Okay,
II because we
pause.
put women in factories, and it has saved our economy.
I would agree with you there, Clue. That
He'll
was
slide it
slid
in and
in.
go
Okay,
right back to the facts like he
okay,
didn't
let
say
me
it.
say this. Now the part
Okay.
now the part where he said that women make more money than the men, and she starts to gradually lose respect. Well, that happens more often than people like to admit. I agree with that part. But when he said taking erectile dysfunction drugs, okay, what the fuck?
Slides it in
That's
and
kind of
can't
wild to
catch
me.
it.
It actually makes sense. Think about it here. I'm gonna come back to. Hold on.
Mhm.
It makes sense. I'm gonna tell you why. Because
I
think
feel
about it.
my
So
mom.
there,
Okay, go ahead.
I'll tell you why, and then I'm gonna let y'all talk. The reason, so they're having issues, and I agree. I 100% agree because women are just different than men, and we don't really like it when we're making more. We feel like we're pulling more weight because I'm just telling you how women are. So there's a lack of respect. So if a woman feels like she's pulling all the financial weight and she's coming home having to cook, clean, having to do it all, so there's probably less sex, there's less love making, and so the man's self-esteem goes down. It's all connected. And so, if his self-esteem goes down, he might start popping more pills. I'm just thinking, to me, it makes kind of sense. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it makes kind of sense. What do you guys think?
I think this is why people should get with people that match their energy because I mean, there's been times my wife has made more than me and there's times I make more than her. That kind of fluctuates at times depending on what we're pursuing in our careers or jobs. I mean, a woman having to come home, do all the cooking and cleaning, I don't believe in that neither. Yeah, especially if she's working. I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna help out with things. My wife does the dinner, I'm gonna do the dishes. It should be self care along with care of that individual that you love. Both. I mean, you should feed off of each other's energies because when you got one feeling like they constantly have to fall in a row, what happens when that row gets stressful? Are you going to be the person to be like, oh, no, that's your responsibility? Or are you going to love your mate and try to relieve some of that responsibility at times?
I
Yeah, but
100%
let me
agree.
say this.
Yeah.
The most I've seen men do when they're depressed is start smoking, drinking, maybe taking some kind of drugs. So I kind of see how it ties in. But will that affect your sexual performance? I don't know. Liquor makes me more horny than ever. I don't know.
Nah,
Now,
Liquor
I
turns
don't.
me on
That's
What
more.
would I know? Let me be real. What would I know about that part though? But the other bit though, yeah, I kind of feel you on that though. Basically, in my home, no, basically, I help out though. Basically, I have to help out though anyway, though that type thing though. So yeah, I kind of feel you on that part. But the part you kind of mentioned a bit though, yeah, what would I know?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, to sit that it's just crazy work that you have to follow a blueprint to have a relationship when relationships can be like, not following a certain energy wave constantly. I
Yeah,
mean, I get in moods where, I might not want to go to work today and my girl might pull overtime or vice versa. Now, I will agree with the man. If a man ain't making no money or barely money at all, yeah, that's going to make a man feel down about himself.
Yeah, it
yeah.
really can. And I guess what you do with that
So
depression,
basically,
that
it's
matters too.
okay, so basically in a spiritual way, it's basically conscious and subconscious type of thing, though. Basically, like the type conscious and subconscious type of energy they're putting out and stuff like that. That's what I kind of believe in, though. I believe in though what I put out is the same thing I'm getting back, though. So that's just how I see it, though. Spiritual way, basically. Of course, though, it happens in outside of that, though, the reality type thing. But I see it more in a spiritual way, though. So yeah, when you kind of mentioned that, yeah, that kind of true though.
Okay, you guys, I'm about to bring it to an end. We're about to end the show. I'm gonna just let this last little bit finish out, and then I'm gonna let you all give me your final thoughts, and I'm gonna end the show. And I think I'm gonna make this a part two. I really enjoyed this one. I know a lot of y'all didn't see it from the beginning. Watch it from the beginning, and then because it's kind of a long one. Let's just let him finish this last little statement, and yeah, we're halfway through it. Yeah, because it's like an hour long. We'll do a part two later.
Women are killing it. It's an amazing thing. But as a man, you should assume at the beginning you need to find the certification and demonstrate the discipline and the will to be economically viable. And sometimes that means getting out of the way of your partner and being more supportive of her because she happens to be better at that money thing than you. That is also a form of masculinity. But I hold on to the fact, if you are not economically viable as a man in this economy, in this society, I'm not saying it should be this way, but it is, you are going to struggle. You're going to struggle in terms of what society thinks of you, what you think of yourself, and quite frankly, what a lot of women think of you. Economic, being a provider. 2, protector. The whole point of prosperity, the whole shooting match, is such that you can move to being a protector. Think about the most masculine jobs: fireman, cop, military. And then the ultimate expression of masculinity, planting trees the shade of which you will never sit under. You want to be a provider, you want to be a protector, and you want to be a procreator. And I think that vision of masculinity as a code can serve as really wonderful guardrails for a young man.
In the introduction, you say you heard from a lot of moms who say something like, I have a daughter who lives in Chicago, works at PR, and another daughter who...
You're muted, Mahogany.
Oh, you're on mute.
There
Sorry,
you go.
I think that's a great place to leave it. We're about halfway through it. What I will do is leave the link to that video, and like I said, Super Sly did a review of it, so I'll leave his video up, and he gave a lot of his points from a man point of view. And H&M, you know, I know you like to do reviews. I think this would be a good one to review. I really enjoyed you gentlemen up here today, each and every one of you. So do you guys want to say something? I guess I can start with Dr. Seal and just work our way around.
Yes. What I wanted to say is it all starts with you as a man. Understanding who you are, understanding what your standards are, understanding what your program is, understand the way you move, respecting yourself and liking yourself. If you can do all those things as a man, you can do your part as a man when it comes to your relationships. You can do your part as a man when it comes to being a father, when it becomes to being a leader, or even when it becomes to being a role model. As I said earlier, the reason why we don't have that many role models, because not that many men have the right mindset. Some of them didn't even grow up with role models. I mean, I could think of many examples of adult men who self-esteem is pretty messed up, or their thought process are messed up. And a lot of them are even playing victim, all because they have the wrong mindset.
Okay, well, thank you. Okay, Clue, you're next.
Hey, Mahogany, I really don't have closing until we see part 2.
Okay,
But,
okay.
Yeah,
Great, come back.
just
Okay.
get them while they're young. Make them feel stop shaming the boys for being boys in school. You know, physical play, being competitive, you know, drawing superheroes, all that's okay. That's not a bad thing. And it seems like today's schools make that a bad thing. They want the boys to be more like girls, and that is 100% wrong. They're boys. Let the boys be like boys and the girls be like girls, and we'll be cool. That's all.
Amin brought up a good point. She was asking, why does the Dr. Scott, what's his name? Yeah, Dr. Scott Galloway keep on bringing up women and money, the normal household. I think overall, I believe she's right. Most overall men are still making more than women. Things are changing though, and that's a very hard thing for families to adjust to. But I think most households, the men still make more. But things are changing. I know I've got a few friends. When I will say this, when women move up in education, that's when it starts to it can change. I've got a lot of friends that are working on PhDs and master's degrees, and they've gone through this kind of thing with their husband, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I'm just glad we're talking about
Okay, yeah. I mean, to me, though, it's not. I'm already used to that though, because that's just how I was raised. Though, when I was born, both parents worked. Though, but then when my sister was born, that's when they were in the position to have my mom stay home, and basically my dad do the work, and he's been the main providing for a long time. Though, just that basically my mom just worked as well. So basically now she's working now, because me, my brother, sister, we're all getting older though, so that's why she's working now. So when you kind of mention that, though, I'm kind of used to that already though, because that's just it's already normal though. So it's all right. I have no problem with that.
Okay, so I think James was James next, or was it H&M? I'm lost.
Oh,
I think it's James. James, was it James?
well, I think my last thought to say, I think the last thing I got to say that everyone has, please leave a like, comment, share, connect to the host, and connect to everybody in the chat and on the panel to help us grow, inshallah. And basically, check part 2 out though, and let's go though. I'm done. Peace.
Okay, peace. Thank you so much. And I've got what you left me in the back. Thank you so much. I think James was next. I'm gonna let James go, then H&M, then Exiled One. Go ahead, sweetheart.
I just wanted to say, I just see your growth in this space, and that need to be looked at, commended. And you was talking about having a code in this space, and you actually said, like, yo, even though we don't agree with each other, we still could support each other. That was big of you, because I don't hear many black women in these spaces say that. And if you have any gripes with each other, hit each other in the back scene, email each other. You have each other IG or whatever the case may be. That could help out with having a call with the males and the females in these spaces. You know what I'm saying? And there's 3 books that people need to read about male improvement, whatever the case. I think ladies need to read those books too. One is called Man Not, you know what I mean, by Dr. Curry. I don't know his full name, but I know it's Dr. Curry. And then you got Male Solutions by Dr. Hassan Johnson in these spaces. He actually a professor in these spaces. So Mahogany, I see you trying to grow from.
Go ahead. Dr. Hassan Johnson, is he the one who got up here? Oh, hold on, wait a minute now. You almost slipped past me on that one. Is he the one?
Nah,
he was
good.
Well, Dr. Hassan, I don't know if this is the same man because I get confused. Is he the one? Because he's been in the manosphere for years. Is he the one that divorced his wife or whatever? She passed away because she was sick with cancer. But he came up here talking about lack of sex. Was that him?
I don't know his I don't know that was him. I'm not going to get into that. Like, I don't do that. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to cancer. Cancer is rampant in my family.
It's very serious.
Personally, I don't know nothing about his personal life. I just know when I used to go over there, he was just talking about male improvement. Charles Faulkner know who he is. And I'm just giving y'all healthy information about men in these spaces who do care about young.
Set me right, because I could be confusing him.
I don't know.
Okay. There was a brother years ago who had a sick wife. And he just, it pissed a lot of people off because after the lady passed or whatever, he came up here talking about, lack of sex and how he had needs and all this stuff. I hope it's not the same man. I hope to God.
Yo, he only been in this space. He only been in this space for like 2 years, 3 years, maybe. He ain't been in this space 10 years though. He ain't been in this space like we have. We've been in this space since the beginning. Like me personally, I've been here for a minute. But nah, Dr. Hassan Johnson came through BGS. BGS brought him in this space. So I don't know how y'all feel about BGS or whatever the case may be. That's here no there, but I remember the good days. I remember the good days when BGS used to have things for the women too. He had a whole platform for women.
Yeah, he had a thing for. Then let me tell you about him, and then I'm because I got to get to these 2 gentlemen. Oh, James, you might need to stay up here with me. Stay just for 2 seconds. Let me let H&M go and then X out. Okay, cool. Go ahead, H&M. Give your closing statement, sweetheart.
Well, I just want to say, show as always. I'm glad to see you're back to doing a lot. I really
Oh,
A pleasure to talk to you. But I'm having a stressful day. I know I write yours to crazy shows.
huh?
I said, talking to you really brightens my day. I know I
Oh,
write yours too, especially with my crazy shows.
I love talking to you. And like I said, I'll be watching you. Yesterday I had a bit of a bad day, so I didn't hop on anybody's panel, but I did watch you. I know you had a Christmas show.
Okay.
And you had some gentlemen up
Okay.
there. You had the same dude that he always comes up. So I wanted you to know I was there. But I always love talking to y'all. I'll let Exiled One go, and then me and James, and I guess
And,
Dr. Seal one.
and let me say this before I hop on, because I got to take care of some things myself. I feel like it's never too late per se to teach to mentor kids out there in elementary school, middle school, and high school. Now, adults, that's something different. But when before they're old enough to, as long as they're not old enough to smoke, drink, vote, or whatever the hell, it's still not too late to teach them some morals and common decency. A nice fan, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I'm just messing with them in the chat.
And it's best to do that. And I mentioned the juvenile justice system because, like I said, I did an internship at a detention center when I was in college, and I see what goes on behind there. They try to help these teenagers get back into society. So reach out to them when they're young, so they don't.
I didn't do anything, y'all. H&M. I didn't do anything.
I think he's having connection issues.
Yeah, but he was basically saying it's always hope, and I agree. There's always hope. I think it's easier when kids are younger, but there's always hope. So H&M, if you can come back up, that's great. If not, that's okay. I got you, brother. I'm gonna let Exiled One go, and then we're gonna talk about BGS. Go ahead.
Well, I think it's always good to look at good, healthy relationship advice. Don't let nobody consider you, make you consider that there's a one road path. Communication is always key. Look at good advice and go over it with your loved one and see what works and fits for you guys. On that
Perfect.
note, I'm getting out of here. You have a good one, sis.
You too. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Shalom. Thank you so much. Peace. Go ahead, H&M. You were cut off at the very end. H&M. Oh Lord. H&M, come to the light. Oh God, sweetie, we can't hear you, but Dr. Seal, do you know Dr. T. Hassan Johnson? Because you were agreeing that he's good, or do y'all know him?
Yeah, I've already listened to him a little bit, but he brings that intellectual vibe, to me. He very intellectual.
Well, I just remember. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Anyway, the very little I listen to, he goes deep into everything. It's just like listening to a professor with him.
Well, I will say this from what I know, because I think it is the same man, but people do change. So I'm not going to judge him based on stuff that people, because I've seen people completely, they call it grifting. I've seen people completely change their content. But I know years ago, because I remember when he was on, I think it was him, as a big heavyset dude. I think he used to have dreads or something, but he would wear a hat. And he's a teacher or something like that. But he told this story. We've all had moments on YouTube where we say something and we regret saying it later. Maybe he didn't realize how it sounded, but I remember him talking about, he was respectful about it. He was like, his dearly departed wife, but he was just talking about the lack of sex and what he needed. And I just thought, oh my God. And if it's the same person, I think he did get dragged a little. We all have our time on YouTube where we might have said something maybe without wisdom. And it comes back to haunt us later on. So maybe the brother, I'll tell you what, because I think he comes up in my feed. I feel like I've seen that name. I'll check him out. I won't say anything. I'll just check him out. I like to watch a lot of the Men from the Clouds. James, did you have something?
Nah, I'm not going to get on that. I'm not going to get on that right there because that's that man. I tend not to talk about. See, I lost a lot of friendships in these spaces because of that's my moral compass. I never talk about nobody union. any
Okay.
spaces, marriages, or anything, because that's their personal business. I actually said this on Drip channel. I don't know if you know Drip.
I've seen
He's
him.
a content, yeah, he's a content creator in these spaces, and I said this right. This is no shade to nobody. This is just my testimony, what I've been through in my personal life. You know what I mean? I never came in these spaces to bash my significant other, my children's mother. Nobody can find no video, right? But
Mhm.
she was in a situation, and thinking about the lack of sex and not having this or that never came. That wasn't even a thought in my mind. You know what I'm saying? I was just thinking about the foundation of youth to me is doing what the apostles, what Jesus did to the apostles, where he washed their feet. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And he told them about life. You know what I mean? He told them about what they was already gonna do. So I made it, my moral standpoint is take care of the one I love. I think that's my best quality, yo, because I'm a fool. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fool on these panels and I'm a fool in real life. But I think my fountain of youth is when you sick, I do know how to nurture, you know what I mean? Especially somebody I love and care for. You know what I mean? So that's my
Well,
best trait.
James has grown. I will say that because this right here, I didn't think this was ever going to happen. Uh, we, I cuss James. James cussed me, and so.
Yeah, keep it real.
But look how far we've come, and I've seen growth. I'm gonna be honest. I've seen growth on you, in you on panels. You're no longer just trolling. You're adding to the conversation in a very helpful, positive way. You're supporting other people. So I've seen the growth in you. That's why you don't see me say too much anymore. Because at first I thought I was like, he's just a troll. He's just a troll. But no, a lot of things you say.
Yeah, you said that. You said that.
No, I don't think
I
that
remember.
anymore, though. I don't think that
I
anymore.
know, I know. Thank you for that. But like I said in the chat, if you watch the on the virtual, I was like, I'm glad that we got past our situation. You know what I'm
Um,
saying? Because like I said, yo, I seen the growth in you. You know, even though we had our back and forth, whatever. I never did no multiple videos on you. You never did multiple videos on me. We may say something to each other, and we leave it right there. It wasn't no 5 year beef because I had bigger fish to fry within that, all of these years I've been in these spaces, you know what I'm saying? Then I don't want to like harp on women like that. You know what I mean? Like I was going after the dudes in these spaces who was putting false allegations on my name. So that was a bigger thing to me. But me and him squashed that. Me and him good. Me and him good. Be good. I don't want to
oh,
say his name. He good. I did a video on him, like saluting him, giving him praise and all of that. Like anybody who I have beef with, yo, we good, yo.
yeah. I
And if
mean,
you do break up a situation, I will say I'm sorry. I apologize to you. I'm not too big headed to be like, yo, my bad. No, I'm saying I never said it came at you like that. I'm not too big to be approached. I don't
well,
think
you
nobody in these spaces should be too big approached. You know what I'm saying?
you have maturity. Some people don't have maturity because you brought up
Thank you,
why
thank you.
well, it's the truth because what you said, if I could have clipped it, I would. It was perfect. You
Right,
said you were giving advice to the women, and you said, you know what, if you guys have an issue, email each other privately, do all those things.
right,
Some people you can do that to, and some people you can't. They'll share the email, they'll share the text, they'll share everything. And so if you do an email, just keep it professional. Just
right,
always remember that anything you share with anybody, always be willing to be be prepared for the possibility that it can end up on YouTube.
right.
Um,
Then let me harp on this, Mahogany. Yo, we
sure,
closer
sure.
together than you think. We closer together than you think, right? Because I just lost my brother in a severe car accident.
I'm
And
sorry.
damn, and it's only been like 2 months, yo. I lost my middle brother. I still have an older brother. I lost my middle brother in a severe um oh man, car accident. The lady was getting off from the bar, like she was leaving the bar. I don't want to get too much into it. She
I'm
was under the influence and swerving to his lane. He was just getting off of work. So I'm sharing this because Mahogany talked about her brother too. And like, I'm not over that, yo. And I reached out to a couple of dudes, but only one dude called me this morning. He called me this morning. He's a shouts out to Bolo TV. He know my story. Shouts out to Mo Love. I mean, these is two people that I love in these spaces. They deep into the Bible. Them people that I go to their platform and I don't wild out. Mahogany, no, I'll hit your platform, yo. If you got smoke, it's up and it's stuck. But I go to these people platforms, I show the most courtesy to them. I don't wild out. I do have my little disperse because I do got ADD, whatever you want to call it. I'm being honest. I'm being transparent, yo. This lost my brother. It's only been a couple of months. And I'm only sharing this because me and Mahogany, you know what I'm saying? I've been knowing her for a while. So anybody who I know for a while on these platforms, I will share a piece, a part of my life. I don't normally do that. I don't. Because
I,
these people will use that and then if we get into an argument, and then they'll talk about my family. You can't find no videos of me talking about my family or they family. If me and that person got smoke, I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about your kids, your brother, your mother, your sister, your dog, your cat, your fish, none of that. I got drama with you. I got drama with you only. But these people in these spaces is deviants. So they'll use that and to take that and trying to use that against me, yo. But I'm built for this space. So when you talk about my brother or my deceased father, that's on you. That don't got nothing to do with me. That got something to do with you and God. I'm Gucci.
right. Okay. So one last thing, and I am sorry to hear about your brother. I really am. And it's only been a couple of months. That's going to take time. Mine's been gone for years, and I still have moments of mourning him, missing things. I still have some of his stuff at my house, his weights, because we used to work out together. Little things remind me. So that it'll be a while, but you'll be okay. So you mentioned BGS. How do you feel about BGS? Do you feel anything?
Yeah, man. I feel like BGS was the gatekeeper of this space. You know what I'm saying? When it
How?
came to when it came to men trying to overbuild their channels, when dudes, I don't want to really say no names like that, yo. We could do that in the back chat, whatever the case. I don't want to put up nobody business out there, but yo, he didn't want certain content creators in his space to grow. You know what I'm saying? He did dim the light on certain content creators in these spaces. Um, especially when and another thing he did when he was talking about the no segregation table. You know what I mean? He want all women to come back to the table. Like all men are not men. Let me just say that all men are not the right men, and all women is not the right woman to be with. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like certain of his talking points is inaccurate.
Oh, well,
So
yeah.
I think that he just doing a play like Black Lives Matter. Like Black Lives Matter didn't care about black male improvement like that. You know what I'm saying? I
No,
just think that he's a plant.
I understand, and so I'll tell you my opinion on it, but I just wanted to know your opinion. I'm gonna go ahead because I'm about to actually end the live. But thank you so much for coming up. Thank you, James, and I am sorry to hear about your sibling. I dropped you down because I'm about to be messy. Everybody knows who I don't care for in his face, and he's one of those old men that I just don't care for. But it doesn't really matter because he's not going anywhere. I just don't see what he's doing that's positive for young men. A lot of the older men, like, what are you doing that's positive? You're old and you're up here talking about how older men should really seek out younger women. Then what's left for the younger men? That ought to tell you something right there. If you're a man and you're listening to him and you're a younger man. You know, instead of him making things easier for you, he's trying to dip his foot in your pool and go at the women that really belong to you. Because young women, I'm gonna be honest, these older men, some of them live in this fantasy land where 20-year-olds are lusting and wanting them. Child, please. The thought of it is making them sick. I just got to be honest. Young women, most 17-year-old, 18-year-old girls are not lusting after no 50, 60-year-old man with a beard gut and a bald head. It's just not happening. And I don't care who gets up here and tells you that. They're lying to you. They're not lusting over you. They might think Tyrone is cute. They might think, James Keels is, well, James is kind of old too, but They might think, you know, the person their age is cute, but are they just wanting you? No. They might want what you could do and provide for as far as financially, but just wanting you physically, no. I'm gonna just be honest. And instead of him bring his old butt up here and just tell the men the truth, like tell them something that's going to be helpful to them in their life, and it's just a bunch of nonsense. Now I do know he had that woman show. And shout out to the women that participated. There was a lot of women I know that participated in that show and tried to go over there and you know, give a female perspective. And, you know, I know a lot of them that did, and they did the best that they could, but you got to have listening ears. You got to have men that are willing to listen and actually listen to what the women have to say. It's a women's panel, but they wanted the men to control the women's panel. And I just thought, that's insane. If you're going to have a women's panel, let the women control the panel. Otherwise, it's just women on a man's, you know, platform. Let the women control it. And the women should feel comfortable enough to speak how they truly feel. So that's my thoughts on him. I don't know if he could gatekeep anything because the space is open. The space is open to all. But, you know, I guess if he's got enough following and he says, oh, don't mess with this person. If some of these dudes are weak enough to just, you've got to be, if you're a content creator or not, you've got to be strong enough to have your own mind. Not to listen to somebody because I tell you to listen to them, or not to listen to them because I tell you not to listen to them. You've got to be strong enough, an adult enough person to check these people out on your own and form your own opinions, no matter what anybody says. But yeah, absolutely, he's giving bad advice, or maybe he's giving good advice too. I don't know. He's a person. So as a human being, we know that he's probably given good advice and probably bad advice, right? He's human. He's not God. And I always tell y'all to look at content creators like they're human, because we are human. We make mistakes. Some of us get up here and put information that's not helpful. Some of us get up here and tell lies to y'all. It's flat. It's just, and it's up to y'all to be smart enough to decipher and figure things out on your own. Okay. Don't just allow people to lead you blindly, you know. Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming up here and talking to me, James. I think this is a good place to end it. This was a great live. This is the longest live I've done in a very long time. I will figure out a part 2. We will have a part 2 after this video. Give it a few minutes to download, you guys. After this video, and it might take a while because it's 2 hours long. After this video is finished downloading, I will go ahead and drop the link to the Oprah, the original video, and to Super Slide's video, okay? Yeah. All right, so y'all have a good Sunday. I think I've read everybody's stuff. Let me see. Oh, you're welcome, James. All right, y'all have a good one. Let me make sure before I end this live stream, I guess I can end it.